to Book Talk with Grace. I hope you've had an amazing week because I definitely have. I haven't been doing really fun things. So, like last week, I've just been doing the same old thing, waking up really early, getting breakfast, doing work, and over again. But there has been some things going on in the news, some of you might know, and it's called Black Lives Matter. And I really support this statement and think it's a really good idea that everyone comes in as a community to, it's called a protest. So everyone comes in as a community to come and fight about Black Lives Matter and say that Black lives are the same as white lives, they're the same thing and they should be treated fairly. And also it's been going around on the news that year 6s and year 1s and I think it's year 9s will be going back to school this month, I think. I'm not very sure, so don't get your hopes up. But I'm really excited because I have a mixture of emotions. One, I'm happy, I'm elated, and secondly, I'm really scared. I wouldn't say scared, but I'm nervous about what will happen. In my school, they said we'll have separate desks, very, very far away from each other because of this virus, obviously, and you have to try not to spread it around to other people, and that's what might happen in my school. I don't know about yours, but that's what might happen in mine. And I'm really, really happy as well because I'm meeting my teachers and I actually do real work where I actually understand and get help from my teachers, even though they're far away. And so I'm just really, really glad that we're actually going to school. Some people might think, oh, why do I have to go back to school? I don't want to go back to school. Some people might think like that. Some people might think the same as me. It doesn't really matter. You is you. It's your opinion. And that's also one of the things that's been going on in this community, in this global pandemic as well. So, I'm going to go straight on with the book review. And today I'm going to be reviewing a book called The List of Real Things, as I said I would before. So right now I'm going to read of the first page of the book, and I'll tell you a bit about who's the main character, when it's set, why it's set, and things like that. So listen up. Bea claimed that the faces of our parents were clear inside her head, but there was no possible way she was telling the truth. I could barely picture them myself. I'm 5 years older than her. I tried hard to remind myself of the sound of their voices, the words they could have spoken, and the songs they might have sung. It was like opening my eyes underwater, or squinting through thick fog at something far away. I could only ever make out the haziest of smudgy shapes, the vaguest of muffled sounds. I didn't like to dwell on what happened to them. Whenever Bea asked me about it, all I would say is that one morning, when she was small, our mum had died, and then not long after that, so had our dad. It was a relief she didn't look for more details, as usual too, considering how curious she normally was. Uncle Freddie had been travelling around the world when the news reached him, and there was nothing to do but come straight home because I and Bea were there, bewildered and sad, waiting for someone to take care of us. The captains of our lives were gone, and so was the great safe boat of love that we sailed in. It felt as if we were very small, like tiny corks bobbling around in the lost, frightening sea. It was Uncle Freddie who rescued us. The shock of sorrow of a sudden parentlessness, I wasn't too sure what we would have done without him, or where we would have gone, or how we might have felt. It makes one shudder to think, as Bea often said. So, as it said in the text, B is one of the characters, and so is Uncle Freddy. And you might know, as it said in the book, that it's in first person. It goes I, my, me. And that girl is called Grace. And this channel is called Book Talk with Grace, and I'm Grace, and I was really surprised that she's actually got the same name as me. Some people call her Gracie as well. And the storyline is basically a few pages after that, a few chapters after that, there was a party because they were leaving, and Grace's auntie actually had to test makeup on somebody, and Gracie gave it a try, and because she never put on makeup before, she thought she was just this weird nerd girl, and she was on the bottom group in school. She actually thought B was a little bit cuckoo, because B believed in things like ghosts and fair and like legends and this place called Hotel Magnificent. And I'm not saying it's wrong. No one's saying it's wrong. It's okay to believe in those things, and because you is you, as I said. And basically, Grace thinks B's a little weird, and she mentions this girl called Pale Emily, and Grace thinks she's really, really weird and doesn't talk to her and doesn't do anything to her. And as I said, Gracie puts on makeup that her auntie gave her to put on, and she puts it on and looks in the mirror, and then she sees she's transformed. It was like looking into a mirror to a different person. That's what it said. It felt like looking into a mirror at a different person. She didn't know who she was, but she loved it. She loved how she looked beautiful all of a sudden. And then she noticed at school, she would go like that to school and no one would notice her. No one noticed her when she went to school. And B didn't like it. B didn't like that she had makeup on. B liked her the way she was. B just didn't like the makeup on her. She thought it destroyed her whole personal look. Later on to the book, B finds a present in the shed, and she calls Gracie, quick, Gracie, and that's the end of the chapter. And then in the next chapter, she knows what it is. It's a tent for them to camp at Dillon's Park, where Hotel Magnificent is. And it says specifically on Dillon's Park, no camping. No type of camping, but they go anyway, because B really wanted to go camping with her grandfather before, but she couldn't because granddad died, and B was really devastated by that, and she felt lost for a minute, but they went camping. Grace and her went camping together at Dillon's Park. Grace, they tried to catch fish with the fishing rods they had, and Gracie said that to be there's no fish here. There's no fish at Dillon's Park. It's all gone. The fish are gone that way because they can't live here anymore. But B said that there are fish there, and she went fishing them together. And there was a whole parade of fish all over the seafloor. And they were so shocked that they got all the fish, all they could, because there was so many fish. It was like a miracle to them. And it was like a miracle in the book as well. And it was really, really fascinating. At the end, it got really weird because, their mom and dad died, as I read there. And basically, they got into Hotel Magnificent because there was a storm at Dillon's Park, and B got lost, and Gracie kept finding her all around Dylan's Park. It's a big place, and she couldn't find her, and she got knocked out because something fell on her. And then they basically, I don't think so, but I don't know, but it didn't say in the book. They became like ghost spirits, and they saw Granddad and their parents in Hotel Magnificent, and there was Pale Emily that Bee mentioned, and Grace was astonished. She thought that Bee was just a weirdo. She thought Bee was just making things up inside her head. But no, it was all real. Pale Emily, Hotel Magnificent, how beautiful it is. And basically they spent time with their parents and Granddad, and then because Hotel Magnificent was crumbling down after a few hours of them being there, and they had to rush out or else they would be stuck in there forever. And Gracie and Bee rushed out as fast as they could, and then they found themselves back inside their own bodies, and they were safe. And I really liked the book. I mentioned a lot about the book, but I really liked the book. I like the storyline. I like the way the writer feels about Bee, about everything, about Chris Cosby, about the school, about Uncle Freddie, about their loss, about Granddad and their parents. And a lot of people would like it. I would like it. 10-year-olds would like it. A lot of people would like it, I think so. It's just that my style of reading, I like that style of reading. I like first person. I love first person because I feel the way the writer feels, and I know what the writer knows, and even more than that. So this is the end of my review. Sadly, next week I'm gonna be reviewing a book called A Strange Kind of Brave. It's coming up next week, and that is the last of Sarah Moore's books. So sad, and I'm very excited for what I'm gonna tell you next week. So stay tuned, like, share, and subscribe for more videos coming up on Book Talk with Grace. I see you next week. Bye.